We're so glad you could be here with us today, Mira.
My pleasure. I'm glad.
How many couples are affected by infertility?
Usual statistics right now are telling us that 1 in 4 couples in the United States will be affected by infertility in some way. This doesn't necessarily mean that all of those couples will need to pursue infertility treatment. It could just mean that they have a delay in fertility, meaning that it takes longer than the usual 12 months that we usually expect people to conceive when they're trying the old-fashioned way. One thing that is important to note is that usually it's a third of the time female, a third of the time a male factor, and a third of the time it's a combination of things. Traditionally, it's been held that this is a female's problem because females are the childbearers, and that really is not necessarily the case. And it's important to explore all of the reasons why a couple could be infertile so that nobody's unnecessarily assuming all of the blame and responsibility, and we can assign appropriate treatment for these couples as well.
Can I just say that, my heart pours out to you. Getting to know you girls, being a part of the show, I love you guys. We've all met each other's kids. Like, the miracle of my children growing inside of me, I get teary-eyed thinking about it. It's like the most miraculous experience I've ever had. And, what's it like to not be able to go through that, or for you not to have your own children?
Well, it's a mourning process that you get over a little bit at a time. And having 2 adopted children, I feel like they are my own children. I never feel like they're not my own children. And the terminology, that people use, just like people say, well, somebody gave up their baby. And I always say, well, their mother made an adoption plan for them. Or, it's just all in being around people. And if I wouldn't have gone through it myself, I probably wouldn't be as sensitive to the subject and, as anybody else, or as knowledgeable about the subject as other people as well. But I have no problem discussing it. During that time, I think when people talk to you, they look at you with so much pity, and to feel like you're being pitied when you're going through feeling inadequate already is such a downer. And for your friends to avoid telling you that they're pregnant, and you're the last one to know because, well, you didn't get pregnant, and, everybody's tiptoeing around you, it hurts. But people don't mean to do it. They think they're protecting you. So
I think, it's a mistake that a lot of people make. We hear that all the time with our infertility patients, that they feel like their mom and their sister and their cousins are avoiding them, and they have baby showers coming up. And the way that people talk to them and tiptoe around the subject does really contribute even more, like you said, to the sense of inadequacy that they feel. And I also think that we have to be really careful when we talk to patients about their definition of their children. When it's an egg donor, when it's a adoption process, that's still very much their child.
It's like you learn something new every day, because I just said, you not being able to have your own kids. They are your kids. You wake up in the middle of the night like we did. You feed them. You go to school plays like us. So I apologize. That's not knowing.
No. That's fine. I always tell my son he grew in my heart, not in my tummy.
Oh, my goodness,
Maria.
Maria.
You're giving me chills.
Oh, wow.
Saying that. That's so beautiful.
Are these things that are covered by medical insurance usually?
No, not usually. There are just a handful of states where it's actually mandated that infertility treatment be covered by insurance. It's very few and far between that people actually have treatment coverage. And It is expensive treatment, which adds an additional stress for couples.
My insurance covered the diagnosis of infertility, but once you had that diagnosis, they didn't cover the treatment of infertility.
All right, well, I have another question. What about, is there like an age range that there's a limit that you go, okay, no more, no, we won't do it anymore?
Again, it varies from one practice to another. We have national recommendations and guidelines that it sort of depends on how closely your particular practice chooses to follow them. For most practices within the United States, 50 is usually where we stop treatment. And usually this is an egg donor situation, because even over the age of 35, you really do start to see a decline in success rates. And when you're trying to preserve genetic continuity, once you get over 40, biology is very cruel, and men can continue to have babies because sperm regenerate. The eggs that we've had since we were born, and they age along with us. And so at 50, we usually start encouraging patients to think about how they define family. And I think it's important, too, to always support couples that family doesn't necessarily always mean that you have children, too. For many couples, resolution of fertility is choosing to live a child-free life. And it's important that we respect that and respect the fact that family is two people who've decided to spend a life together. It's not defined by having children.